What are signs of depression that aren't talked about? Constipation. True fact. The feeling that you are suffering alone because nobody understands you nor the pain you feel. Removed by user for reasons. Loss of motivation, loss of interest in hobbies, loss of drive to do anything. Also memory loss. Being mad at yourself. You lose interest in things you love and then sometimes lose the ability to complete or even start small tasks like showering or doing your laundry. That can be so infuriating, and your first thought isn't maybe I need help, it can be more like what is wrong with me? This used to be simple greater than. Sleeping with no intention of waking up. Not mad at others but yourself. Also getting mad at very simple things. I'm clinically diagnosed and it's really clear. When I study for a test, for example, I get super mad if I can do 9 correctly but get stuck on 1. It's like a genuine anger. Mindless snacking just to fill the void, or avoiding food completely because it brings no joy. Alcoholism. It makes your current alcoholism even worse. Source: am alcoholic. Depression made it worse. When you stop doing silly little things you enjoy, like listening to music when you drive, or eating the marshmallows out your bowl of Lucky Charms first. Life just becomes a drudge, and you simply lose the joy. That it's not that I want to die. It's that I don't want to exist. Both are very different. I wake up feeling grey, no motivation, no drive, nothing. The world around me is grey and you're filled with the constant yet silent feeling of what's the point? The best way to describe it would be laying in a lukewarm bath. It's too cold to stay in but outside will be colder, but it's also just warm enough that you're latching onto the slightest comfort. Almost tricking yourself to believing that this is okay. Chronic underemployment. Huh. Wow. I didn't realize I've been depressed till I read this. That's good because I just thought it was because I turned 60 and figured it was part of getting old. Imagine feeling inside of you that pressure. Pressure to stand tall, pressure to keep yourself organized and clean. Pressure to keep that routine of yours, of talking nicely and often to your friends and people you love. Good pressure, energy even. Then, depression. The pressure falls down. Emptiness. You fall inside of yourself. Nothing is holding up anymore. You melt into the floor. I know I'm depressed when I realize the internal pressure, the energy is gone. Spending an excessive amount sleeping. Even after 16 hours, I'm just utterly exhausted. It took me a long time to figure out I was incredibly depressed. The funniest people you know are usually the most depressed. I use humor to distract myself from my depression in social circles. When I am alone and no one is around to humor, things can get very dark. The guilt of not being able to do what you know you ought to be doing. You take really long showers. TBH, I feel like not being able to cry is one cause, like for me that's what's happening, and I've met several other people like that. Being tired. Lack of sleep. I can't remember the last time I slept, but it must have been 2 days ago or something. My friend who is depressed would call those rookie numbers. He has gone weeks with barely any sleep. Such that I worry for his health sometimes. This is more for suicidal thoughts, but gift giving is a huge sign. People with said thoughts tend to think they want to be nice at their last days, so they will give their loved ones really sentimental gifts, more importantly heirlooms and treasured items to them. Do not think that if you get a gift, the giver is going to kill themselves, but if they show other signs along with it, check in on them. Stomach issues. Being negative and crabby, versus sad and isolating. The feeling of emptiness/apathy that come with it. Feeling crippling guilt for having no energy, no motivation, and no drive when you can see the effect it has on people around you. What makes it suck even more is that guilt makes depression worse. At least for me. It's a cycle. Constant cheeriness. There's something hiding under there. Distinguished from true cheerfulness. Hard to put into words. It has to be felt. Few mates killed themselves, they all moved to a different state months before doing it. Rage. It was awful. After I had one of my kids, I read an article how it was a sign of PPD and made an appointment with my doctor ASAP. Is wanting to have something to dedicate yourself toward, be it an instrument or a career path, but not having the desire to weather the struggle on the way, a sign of depression? Like, I would love to do some stuff, but the juice just doesn't seem worth the squeeze on just about anything. A lot of the public thinks depression is all just cutting yourself and sobbing, but most of the time it's an endless spiral of nothing, lack of interest, and just go through life without a light to guide you. It's horrible. After reading all of these, I am starting to question if I am not depressed. Would I know if I was depressed? 0 sex drive. My husband was so upset that I wasn't ever interested, and I couldn't figure out why either, because my husband is hot as hell. It always just sounded like too much trouble. Turned out my birth control was kinda ruining my life, and within weeks of coming off it I was all kinds of ready to make a baby. The sudden indifference you feel toward yourself, but, for me at least, the multiplied care for those around me. Couldn't stand the thought of doing anything for myself, showering, eating, doing work, but encouraged others around me that they had to. I think in our heads caring for others when we don't want to care for ourselves makes up for it. Working all the time keeps my mind busy, keeps my body tired, so I fall asleep faster and don't contemplate life at night while trying to fall asleep. My phone rings all the time and I'm so sick of being on it that I never think about calling non-existent friends to catch up. I never want to go out for fun because I'm always having to drive or meet people for business, and I'd love to just sit on my couch. Working 12 to 14-hour days and then doing my paperwork / job bids and follow-ups when I get home makes me kinda able to justify my moods. I'm not really depressed, just busy. Right. Working / doing too much. It's easy to bury yourself in work or activities because you can ignore yourself and your needs while busy. Starting projects but never finishing them. Sacrificing yourself to help everyone else but never asking for help yourself. Even with small things like chores around the house, packing / unpacking, or general house maintenance. Canceling plans at the last minute. Almost wishing deep down for something bad to happen, just so you can have an excuse for why are you feeling so bad all the time. Also, I agree with the memory loss and foggy brain thing. I have forgotten half of my life, not to mention my current short-term memory status, and it's making me even more depressed. When depressing hits, I cannot leave the house for days on end. I can't clean. I want to, but I just don't have the energy to do it. I'd rather pretend that it's not there and close the door. Always wonder if I wasn't here if anyone would have missed me. Their expectancy for the people around them to drop the ball. I remember back in 9th grade I made a playlist that I wanted played at my funeral. It was a just-in-case sort of list. I wonder if I still have it. The intense anxiety that comes along with it. Are moments of full-on rage and hyper-independence talked about. I thought I was just angry, but after reading about depression-induced rage I realized it was me. Thankfully I sought treatment and am in a much better place. Although in treatment I discovered my hyper-independence and resentment at people who ask for help, because I'm unable to, was another symptom. Purposely provoking yourself to be more depressed. I used to never feel like I was in the right place. If I was home alone I'd want to be out with friends. If I was out with friends I'd want to be home alone. I couldn't ever find the right balance. Your whole body hurts. Not being able to think straight or organize things. No sex drive. It can wear on you in ways you don't realize or think it ever would. Desperately wanting to take care of other people / make them happy, and being upset when unable to make other people happy. My life is worthless, and if I can't be happy, at least I can make someone else happy so I won't be a total waste of space mentality. I almost signed up to donate a kidney at 18 because of this. And repeatedly tried to donate blood despite my anemia. Also, people hated me because they found my desperation to make other people happy annoying and patronizing, and I was very clingy and would feel rejected if someone else was sad. And I would let people walk all over me because I thought if it made them happy, let them go ahead. I don't matter anyway. It's awful. Ghosting people. Defensiveness and anger. Feeling overwhelmed for no reason. Time distortion. The moments are long or really short. And not just in a where did the time go sort of thing. I don't know if I can explain it well. Also memory loss in those moments, short term and long term.